If you've been trying to create G3 SVG characters for Cartoon Animator using Inkscape and are running into all kinds of problems trying to get your templates to import into Cartoon Animator, then this video could have the solution for you. So here on the screen, on the left hand side of the screen, I have my completed character template open in Inkscape, and on the right hand side I've got Cartoon Animator open. I've got the content manager closed and the scene manager closed because we don't need them for the moment. But with the character completed here, I know that this character is all correct and that all the naming of the layers within it are all correct. So if we open up the layers thing just quickly, I'm not going to go into it too detailed, we're just going to sort of scan it. You can see all of my names here look perfectly fine. All I've done is use the template that Cartoon Animator provides for front-facing characters, and I've done exactly what they've recommended by simply replacing their sprites in the template with my sprites. I haven't changed any of the folder names, at least not the top level folders. Even some of their folders that have the word replace on, I haven't even changed those. I've kept those as well, just to make sure that nothing's likely to go wrong. And where I've got things such as these headphones on this character, these are additional sprites, custom sprites that I've added to the model. I've put those in with their suggested naming conventions. So if we look in the image head here, so I've got headphone left here, and inside here my first sprite folder is called normal, which is something that Gary Pye recommends that you do whenever you add a new sprite to a character or a new sprite group or whatever. The first folder is always normal, and then I've got my actual sprites that make up that piece within that folder. And when you add new sprites that have their own bones, up in the bone section up here, so I've got my headphone section there with things attached to it. So headphone right, which is this thing here, and you can see this has got extra bones in here. See if I can zoom into them so you can see these better. You can see I've got extra bones in here attaching this cord and this microphone to this particular right here. And when you do that, you have to have this structure up in the bone section so that Cartoon Animator knows that these bones are linked. So I've got my headphone right there, and then I've got two lots of semicolons or colons in there, and then I've got the name of the sub-bone sprite, which in this case is microphone and headphone cord for the bottom one here. Both of them are attached to the headphone itself. And I know that all this is correct because I've actually been through and got this particular template to import successfully in Cartoon Animator, and I'm going to show you that in this video. But what you'll encounter, I'm going to demonstrate here, is if you save your template out from Inkscape as an SVG file and all of your naming looks correct, you know it's correct, you've gone through it meticulously and checked, double checked and all that, and then you import it into Cartoon Animator and it's all over the place, I'm going to show you how to fix that. Just to demonstrate that, I'm going to drag my folder into Cartoon Animator. So this particular file here on the screen, this is the one that I've saved out from Inkscape, and I'm going to drag that into Cartoon Animator like so. And you'll see there we've got all kinds of errors happening. So just on this side, I'll zoom this guy out. So that's what he should look like, but we look over here. So you can see here, all of his outlines are missing for a start. All of my extra sprites that I've added are up in this corner for some reason. And he's even missing a hand over here. So what's going on? I can assure you that this template is all correct. It should import fine, but it doesn't. The actual problem appears to be with Inkscape itself, and the solution I found that can fix this is if you go into Photopea or Photopea, depending on how you say that, and open this particular file in Photopea, you can get this. This is the desktop version of Photopea, but you can use the browser version as well. It's no different, exactly the same. If I move this over, it's got all the ads in, just like the online version. What I'll do is I'll bring my file that you saw me drag in. It's the same file, this one here. I'll drop it in here. Photopea can open up SVG files. Here we go. So that's imported in here. It looks exactly fine. Nothing wrong with it. Zoom in a little bit, see it a bit better. All the bones and whatever are where they should be, exactly as they are here. But if we go into the layers panel, everything is expanded in here, and if we start scrolling down, you'll see something rather odd here. We've got this thing, path, 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 in the bones section. Keep going down, going into the bone head section, we've got path, path, path. These aren't the labels that I gave these particular pieces. Keep going down, you'll see down here there's another path here, and it's the same if we keep going down, further down. You'll see also this character has a right hand here and a second right hand, even though in Inkscape it's right and left, and I renamed the folder as right and left after I copied and flipped all the right hands over to the left hand side. Keep going down, get past that, into the face. You'll see there's this folder here, don't know what that is. It's G1 whatever, I didn't name anything that. Here as well, another one here. So you get the idea, there's all these folders with numbers and names that's not how they are in Inkscape, but this is the reason why when you're importing into Cartoon Animator, Cartoon Animator is getting all these folders with numbers on and not correctly named, and that's why you're ending up with this sort of mess here. And if you go back into your file in Inkscape, reopen it up, everything will look completely fine, exactly as you labeled it, and doesn't matter how many times you save this out. These labels here for the folders will look fine, but when you bring it into Photopea, you'll see all of these things are incorrect. So what I've been doing is I've been getting my model completely done in Inkscape, making sure everything in the folder structure or layer structure is labeled as it's supposed to, and then I'll open up Inkscape and Photopea side by side and just run through all of these names to see what they should be. So you can see if I scan down this list and get to the first lot of path after the bone labeled head, I go in here, look at what that should be. After the bone labeled head, it should be torso, colon, colon, hoodie, hood, L, colon. So all I do is I double click in here, copy, go over to Photopea, double click and go paste. Same with the next one, it should be this, copy, over to here, go paste. And we've got this one which should be zip, so copy, over to the next one and go paste. And you get the idea. I'm not going to go through and make you watch me place everything, but that's essentially what you do. You look for what's different and copy and paste the names over. So here we've got in Bonehead again. See, we've got these path names that should have these names here. After Bonehead, we've got path 156470, which should be this one here. Copy it over. Won't do the other ones, but we'll scroll down to where the folders are, and you can see here, as I said, my left hand here. I've got a left hand at this point after the left forearm, but if we scroll down here, after the left forearm, I've got a right hand, and that's why here one of my hands is missing, because I've got two hands with the same label on. Interestingly, it's the right hand that's missing, even though they're both labeled right hand. So go back here. What I would have to do is go to my left hand, just copy that over, make sure that says left hand, go enter. And other things where you've added in a sprite, so down below after the hands, I've got this one here is a sprite that I've added into the head, so we'll go down to the the heads here. You can see image head, it should read microphone, and you'll see the first folder should read normal. So that's what we need to do. We need to go replace microphone over here, paste, and then we need to replace the normal file, paste. It doesn't need 2 colons, although that doesn't matter. If it's got the 1 colon, it doesn't matter what you have after that. So just watch for that. If you've added in something new, make sure you check out the subfolder as well to make sure the name is the same. Once you get lower beyond that point, things can be named pretty much anything. So you'll see in here, those path names are exactly the same because I never changed them from what Inkscape gave them. But this is what the problem is. Once you've done all that in Photopea, you don't want to just go saving it, because I believe that will just simply save it as a PSD file. Certainly I don't think it saves it as a vector file. So you want to go export as an SVG file rather than just hitting save. And so I'll do that. And it'll come up with this panel, save for the web. You'll see, we scroll down here, that's the actual size of it. You don't need to change any of these settings. I'm just showing you this because the first time I did this I saw that and I wondered what the heck was going on. It just looked like a blank file, but it's actually just showing the thing at its full height and width, so just be aware. The character is there, it's just being shown at its full size. Here you would just click save and that will send you out to your hard drive or wherever you are, so that you can save this. And I've got my character here and I saved it in this folder, or as this file here. I'm not going to do it again, otherwise I'll end up just writing over that, and I haven't actually completed changing the names on this one, so it's pretty pointless to save it out. That's what you would do. And you'll see now, I go into Cartoon Animator, and we'll move this one out of the way. I won't delete him. We'll just move him over there to one side, make him smaller just to remind you of what that one looked like. And I'll go get my other file. All I've done to this file is exactly what you saw me do there, is go through and change all the names back to what they were in Inkscape, or what they should have been when Inkscape saved it. And we'll drag that over into Cartoon Animator. And you can see there, now the character is completely imported, totally correct, and is being brought into the composer where you can actually get on with doing whatever work you need to do with the character. So if you've been having problems with Inkscape and not being able to get your characters to import correctly, even though you've checked and double checked all of the file names and folder names to make sure they're correct, this could be the bug that you're experiencing. And you can see, so everything is there, and I've got all my hands and all of the sprites have imported as well. This particular character has sprite hands, so there we go, all of the different sprite hands, all of the different face sprites, and the eye sprites, etc. And you can see that's a much better result than whatever was going on with this one, with all the names just being all over the place as a result of Inkscape. I'm going to leave that there. I hope you found this video useful, especially if you are designing G3 SVG characters in Inkscape and you've encountered this particular problem and had no idea this particular bug existed. Hopefully the creators of Inkscape will be able to solve this in the future, but for now this is the workaround. And just know that it's probably not your fault that the character isn't working in Cartoon Animator. It's just a bug with Inkscape, and your templates are very likely perfectly okay, provided that you've done all the naming of all your folders and got the structure correct, and done all your double checking to make sure that's all in order before you import into Cartoon Animator. So, hope you found this useful, and hopefully this solves some of the problems that you may have been having. Till the next video, bye for now.